All right, welcome to your next episode of Fight Picks. Today we have finally Jaxson Barlow in. He's been calling me out for quite some time now.
Shit to you. You've been ducking me. Dude.
So
everyone's ducking me.
What we'll do first, we'll go over the game rules, and then after that we'll go over the fights, and then we'll tell you our picks and go over who we are calling out next. So the game rules. First rule is you have to bet $1,000 on the fight. So for that, you have to spread that out between the 5 main fights. So the second game rule is the bets must be in before the show, which we went to record this before, and that didn't work out so well because we didn't have our picks. But now we have that done.
You would think you would have gotten it. Like, you've been defending this
After
like
all
4
these
times now.
I know.
I think that's a sign.
It's been too many times.
It's a
dude.
sign. It's your time is up, bro. Your time is up.
The third rule is going to be the bets must be at least $100 on each fight. Rule 4 is the largest profit wins. So even if, let's say, I win 4 of the fights, but I bet on all of the favorites, and then Jaxson wins like 1 or 2 of the fights, and they were the underdogs, he could still win if he makes more money. Rule number 5 is that the winner becomes the host, and they issue the next challenge for who they want to go against.
Sounds good. All right, so kicking off the card, we have Hakeem Dawodu versus Zubaira Tukhugov. Hakeem Dawodu, or Dawodu, I don't even know how to say his name that well, I'm sorry. He's 11-1-1, with Zubaira being 19-4-1. Next on the card, we have Ketlin Vieira versus Sijara Eubanks. Ketlin Vieira is 10-1. Sijara Eubanks is 7-4. Fight after that, we are at flyweight in men's with Kai Kara France with a 21-8-0 record with 1 no contest, taking on Brandon Royval, or Royval, not really sure how to pronounce that name if he's Brazilian, being 11-4. Co-main event, light heavyweight, title on the line after John Jones giving up the belt. Dominic Reyes at 12-1, taking on Jan Blachowicz. Dominic Reyes being 12-1, Jan being 26-8. And with the main event for the card, the middleweight titles on the line between Israel Adesanya and Paulo Costa, both undefeated right now. One of those got to go. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I will go first with the first fight of the night, which is Hakeem versus Zubaira. For that fight, that's an interesting matchup. I was watching some of their fights earlier today. Hakeem is a very good striker. Yep. Zubaira, he's really well-rounded. He has that, what like almost all those Russians have right now. They aren't like super technical on the feet. I mean, he's not bad on the feet. He throws hard.
He throws hard. He throws a little reckless.
But he usually looks for the takedown, looks to ground and pound or get the sub.
Yep.
With that fight, I was kind of going back and forth, but I went with Zubaira, and I bet $300 on that one.
Okay, that's interesting because I had the same exact thought process right now. Hakeem looks like the cleaner striker. He's got that 11-1-1 record. That's scary. But with Zubaira being 19-4-1, I think that fight experience might give him the edge. And not only that, but with like those Dagestan guys you were saying, Zubaira has trained with Khabib before, and he's also training with Tiger Muay Thai. So I think that is going to help clean up his striking. So I also have Zubaira, but I only put $200 down.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
So for the next fight, we got that Ketlin Vieira versus Sijara Eubanks. That fight was pretty interesting. I haven't watched too much on Ketlin. I know she's pretty good everywhere. She has a good record, obviously. Sarge has kind of been back and forth between weight classes and all that. So I decided to go with Ketlin, and I bet $250 on that one.
Okay, that's a really interesting one. Yeah, I have the same thought process there. I haven't really watched either one of them, really, but I'm looking at their records, and it's really hard to pick someone who's 7-4, especially when the odds are minus 185 and plus 150 for being towards Eubanks. Yeah, I see a 10-1 record versus someone who's 7-4, someone I've watched on the TV before, and I just don't find impressive overall. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I'm taking the same one. I'm taking Ketlin with you, but I'm only putting $100 down.
Ooh, okay. Okay. So now we got the third fight of the night, which is Kai Kara France versus Brandon Royval. This fight was really, really tough for me. Kai, he trains out of City Kickboxing. He's trained a lot too at Tiger Muay Thai. Honestly, when I watch him, I wouldn't say he's like the most technical striker, but he throws hard. He has a lot of power, good takedowns, good takedown defense. He's really well-rounded, has good experience. But then recently, I went out to Colorado to see Cody and Bobby, and I got to watch Brandon spar a lot.
That's some insight, dude. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. You got that.
He is very, very good. I don't know if I even saw him lose a round when he sparred, and he was sparring very good guys, almost guys that fight in the UFC. Man, Kai has that power advantage. I would say Brandon is the much craftier striker, and I would say he has much better jiu-jitsu. His threat of submissions is very high. But Kai, he's much shorter, so I think he's going to be really hard to take down. And I think just that power and experience might pull through for him. So I had to go with Kai, and I only bet $100 on that fight.
Interesting. So this is why I had my phone out, is I actually pulled up the stats right here. And it's funny that you mentioned that he is shorter, because he is shorter by 5 inches. But interesting enough, he actually still has a 1-inch reach advantage on Brandon. Yeah.
Wow.
He still has a 1-inch reach advantage. And I think with the 21-8 record, the more experience, I think that's going to help him, give him this edge. And again, you mentioned that raw power and tenacity that Kai Kara France has. I think that's going to give him the edge in this fight. And I, too, have Kai Kara France for $100.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a little top heavy on this card.
So the co-main event of the night is Dominic Reyes and Jan Blachowicz.
Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, Jan Blachowicz or whatever. I don't know really how to pronounce his name.
But
Not
down with the Polish, bro. The Polish power. No respect.
So that fight, honestly, was the one where I'm the most confident about who's going to win. I think Dominic Reyes is kind of just going to take this one. I mean, he had a super close fight with John Jones. That's his only loss. So basically, it's a toss-up for that one. Jan, he's done very well. He has a lot of power. He's pretty good everywhere. The thing that kind of sucked for this fight is that it was minus 300. Honestly, if the odds were a little bit different, I would have bet a shitload of money on Dominic Reyes.
He's the most favored on the card.
Yeah.
He is the heaviest favorite.
I think this one's got to go to Dominic Reyes, unless he somehow gets clipped and knocked out.
How do you see him winning?
Dominic Reyes?
How do you see Dominic Reyes winning?
I see a TKO.
You see a TKO?
Yeah.
What round?
Fourth
round. TKO. Over Jan Blachowicz.
Yep. And I bet $100 on that fight.
Damn. Okay. So that's interesting. So I'm actually disagreeing with you. I have Jan Blachowicz on this one. Now hear me out.
Oh boy.
I understand Dominic Reyes is this good athlete, and he went toe to toe with John Jones. John Jones's last few performances, I'm not very impressed with overall. I think I really wasn't impressed with his performance against Reyes. I wasn't impressed with the performance against Thiago Santos. I think John Jones is actually losing it a little bit. The thing that concerns me is that Dominic Reyes is kind of on that hot streak where he's only lost that one fight. Jan Blachowicz's last few fights, I think it's he's 8-5 in the UFC or something like that. So he's kind of got that journeyman's record in the UFC. But I do think he is the superior grappler, and he does have heavy hands, and he has proven that. And I went back and I watched the fight footage against Luke Rockhold, and Luke Rockhold is a sick striker. He's actually legit. And he really wasn't doing any sort of damage. Jan was blocking the high kicks. He was checking all the low kicks and smacked him with that left hook and put him down. So I think Jan Blachowicz is going to shock the world. And I think there's a good chance he either dominates Dominic Reyes with that grappling or can maybe even KO him. And I got 300 on Jan.
Wow. I'm surprised you bet that. Man,
That's
you could make a ton of money.
Exactly,
if you win that fight, you pretty much win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do win. If he wins that fight, you will win the bet.
I'm going heavy on Jan, dude. I'm feeling the Polish power.
Man, I'm surprised you went off of the Luke Rockhold fight because he has kind of fallen down, and that
Luke
was
Rockhold
up a
has
weight
fallen off.
class for him.
That is true.
I think Dominic's just
I still think I just
too
watched.
big.
I watched Jan's technique, dude. His technique was good. Like
He is good. He's good
got
everywhere.
Sound technique and that grappling. I just think it's too raw for Dominic.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be interesting. Like, am I going to be surprised if Dominic wins? No. But I feel like as a betting man, I think I can win this off of Jan.
Wow.
I'm going to take my chances on Jan to shock the world, bro.
Damn. Well, all right. We are on the main event of the night, which is Adesanya versus Costa.
Yes.
This was another fight just like the Cara France and the Roval one.
We were going back and forth on this one a lot. We were talking
Yeah.
about this outside of the podcast, and neither one of us could decide who we wanted here. So I'm actually interested to see who you're going to pick.
So, yeah, I've been going back and forth with this one all day. It's a very interesting fight because Costa usually finishes people early. So if it does go into the later rounds, how will he fare in like the 4th or 5th round? Is all that muscle going to take a toll on him and tire him out, and then Adesanya maybe knocks him out late? Or what I could also see happening is them getting in the pocket, trading hooks, and maybe Costa lands that hook and knocks him out. Man, honestly, I have no idea who's going to win this one. Like, Adesanya is the more technical, better striker. Will the size play a factor? Will the pressure and power play a factor?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see their tactics in the fight. Like, is Costa going to keep that pressure and just throwing bombs? And Adesanya, is he going to be – I'm sure he'll be able to handle that. He's gone against some of the best strikers in the world.
Yeah. I think he's the best striker in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody's getting knocked out in this fight.
Yeah.
I just don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But
let's just pray to God it's not Israel versus Yoel again.
dude, there's no way.
No
way.
I would be so bummed out if this card gets ruined by a scared to engage fight between Paulo and a dude. I'll be so bummed out. We can't have that again.
Yeah, there's been too much smack talk.
I don't think it's going to go down like that.
Yeah,
though.
it's definitely going to be a striking fight too. I think they said neither guy has really ever attempted a takedown in the UFC.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be striking. I decided to put 250 on Adesanya.
Adesanya, okay. I respect that. So, yeah, I think Israel is the best striker in the UFC right now. I think he's actually one of the best strikers of all time in the UFC. I think he's super clean, super good at countering. The feints are excellent, the footwork, everything. But I watched Paulo Costa fight Yoel, and I was actually super impressed with his pressure and his technique. Like, when you see a guy who's bodied up like that, you're like, this guy's just going to throw haymakers. But you watch him fight, the guy's got technique. He slips punches, he rolls, he throws his hooks right, he works the body.
He can take a punch.
And he pressures. And that's not what we saw with Yoel Romero. Yoel Romero did not pressure Adesanya the way I think Costa's going to. I think Costa's going to take this fight to Adesanya. And after watching Israel struggle the way he did against Kelvin Gastelum,
yeah, I know.
I think Paulo is going to be a very, very serious problem with him because
the size difference is insane.
It's huge. And not to mention the body composition is way different. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, Kelvin Gastelum's got power. You know what I mean? He's got slick boxing.
But he used to be a 170.
He used to be a 170, and he's a wrestler.
Costa should be like a 205.
Yeah, Costa should be 205. And not only that, Costa's not a grappler who's going to go out there and shoot for the leg and fail. Costa's another guy who can strike. And not only that, but he's got a very high knockout ratio. And so because of that, I'm putting 300 on Paulo Costa.
Oh, my God.
I got Paulo Costa. I think he's going to be the man to show Israel up. I feel like there's a good chance he clips him with the shot, maybe in the second round, puts him down and TKOs him.
That's originally who I had, too.
Really? I originally had Adesanya.
Did you?
Yeah, I originally had Adesanya.
I switched mine, actually, when I pulled into the parking lot earlier today when I was looking at it. It's like, man, Costa's probably going to knock him out. I think it's going to be – you remember how he knocked out Whitaker? I think it's going to be that same exchange where they both slip on the cross and they throw the hook at the same time.
Yeah.
and somebody's getting knocked
and
out.
Izzy's so good with that. He's so good at catching people coming in because he's got a 80-inch reach, and Paulo Costa only has 72 inches on the reach.
Yeah.
I have more reach than Paulo Costa.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be super interesting to see how Izzy handles it with the reach and the range advantage. But then again, like I said, I think Paulo's pressure is so good, he is going to get inside.
And it's a smaller cage there.
It's a smaller cage. They're in the Apex Arena, yeah.
No, they're in Abu Dhabi again,
They're in
I think.
Abu Dhabi again?
Fight Island.
Is that one smaller?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how much smaller it is, but from what I heard, it is smaller than their usual cage.
Okay. Gotcha.
Man.
That's going to be interesting. I think we were neck and neck with every pick and bet until the co-main and main.
Yep.
Ooh, that's exciting.
I'm not questioning my Dominic Reyes pick right now.
I don't blame you.
But I am questioning.
If I'm going to hang my head on one, I think it's going to be Jan's going to fuck me up. But then again, he is a
how much am I going to make off Dominic Reyes? Not shit.
Exactly.
I only bet $100, and it's a minus 300.
It's a minus 300.
So I make $30.
Exactly.
Off of betting 100.
And I have plus 230 on Jan.
Yeah.
Which is huge. And then plus the Izzy and Paulo fight's pretty close. Minus 185 to Izzy, plus 150 to Costa. So, I mean, you're not going too bad either way on that one.
Yeah.
But I really think Paulo's going to do it. I didn't think so until I watched him fight Romero the other day on YouTube. I was like,
the
oh,
fight
shit,
that
this
was
dude's a
kind
beast.
of making me lean towards Costa was when I watched him fight Uriah Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, you told me
Another
about that.
good
That's
striker
and rangy.
that he just fucking came after and took it to him. I don't know, man. That's tough. But, all right, so let's say if you win, who are you going to first call out?
I'm calling out Jaxson Ross's bitch ass. All right. I asked him if he wants to do it, and he kind of like, I was like, I don't think he's going to want to do it. He's always like busy or some shit. And he like had this like demeanor to him where he's like, I don't think so. And then he just goes, dude, I think I'm just going to fuck you up. I'm like, all right, bet. So I'm getting him on the show. I'm going to embarrass him in front of everyone. I'm going to shit on him. So I'm taking Jaxson Ross next.
Perfect. Well, if I win this one, I actually have no person that I was thinking about challenging
the
that.
whole gym until now.
I'm pretty sure who I will go with next, who's popping into my head right now, is John Chalbeck.
Yes. John Chalbeck was going to be the guy outside of Jaxson Ross that I was going to take. So that's a good one.
Yep.
I'll show all you MMA guys.
Yeah, I would love to beat John on this show, too.
It'd be fucking hilarious to get John in here.
All right, you got anything else?
I don't got anything else except that. I don't know. I mean, we're going to see on Saturday. I'm going to shit on you. It's all good.
We'll see. Reigning defending champ here.
No longer, bro. It's me, bro. I'm going to come in here wearing sunglasses, too, next time. So be ready, everyone. The next time you see me, I'm going to be wearing sunglasses.
I'll bring a belt for myself. All right, that is a wrap.